You know what I really love, folks? Mangas. Especially the degenerate versions. But you know what I like just as much? Wholesome mangas. And what do I like even more than wholesome mangas? When those set mangas become animes. I'm the Noob, and I'm going to be talking about an anime that's going to be coming out this year from a manga that I have enjoyed for the last 2 years. The title of this manga is Tonikaku Kawaii, or in English terms, Fly Me to the Moon. Fly Me to the Moon is a romance comedy manga that I've enjoyed for the last 2 years. Your main protagonist is a boy whose parents decided to name him in a funny way to where when they wrote out his name, it spelled out NASA, like the National Air and Space and Science people. See, as he grew up, people would pick on him because of this name. And so he decided that he was going to become a really smart and determined person to where no one would be able to pick on him. One day, just before his high school entrance exam, when he was standing next to the road looking over some paperwork, he spotted a beautiful girl and instantly fell in love. Unfortunately, because he was distracted by this girl, he took a step out into the road and almost got isekai'd by a truck. Luckily for him, this girl saw and jumped out and saved him, even though they both got hit by the truck. Now, he was majorly injured, and she somehow, even though she was bleeding, was able to get up, talk to him, and then tried to disappear. Now, our boy, NASA, he fell in love at first sight. So he literally gets up, ignores the warnings of the truck driver, and goes looking for this girl. When he finds her at a bus stop, now, of course, he's still bleeding. She's a little worried about him. And they talk a little, and then he does, well, what anyone would do at love at first sight. He asks her out. This is where it kind of takes a little bit of a funny turn, because normally you would just say yes or no. This girl gives him a very interesting ultimatum. If you marry me, I will go out with you. Now, of course, this is a little odd because usually you go out first, you date and all that. But she gave him a weird ultimatum, so most people, including myself, would have to question this. Our boy NASA, without missing a beat, goes, yes, I will do this. Unfortunately, a few moments later, he kind of blacks out because he was injured and running off of adrenaline. The girl disappears, and for a couple years, he continues searching for her. He goes to high school, but he graduates and he starts working. He doesn't really care for his future because all he does is random jobs trying to keep an eye out for this girl. On his 18th birthday, she appears out of the blue at his apartment. The young lady's name is Tsukasa Yuzaki. She has a little bit of that mysterious air about her. She shows up, she brings a marriage proposal form. Basically, it's the certificate where you fill it out, you turn it in, and you're married. And they fill out the paperwork and they go get married. The whole thing about this manga that I've really enjoyed is the relationship that they have. Yes, they jumped ahead. They went straight from, instead of dating, they went straight to marriage, and now they're kind of dating. I find it very wholesome because they're still trying to learn about each other, and it's kind of adorable. And they do various things together, and some things are kind of obvious when it comes to dating, like, holding hands, kissing, going out on dates, wanting to hold your partner, stuff like that. Each episode shows how their relationship develops. Now, of course, there's several people who come along and join in on this manga. You get to meet his family, you get to meet her family, you get to meet friends of his that he's helped out. You even get to meet the people at the bathhouse who he has helped take care of, and the older sister who had a crush on him, but she never did anything. And there's even some funny situations that happen, like their apartment burns down, so they move into the spare rooms of the bathhouse. So a lot of things happen. And now when I say there's a bit of a mystery to this girl, there really is, because you don't know a lot about her past. And there are some things that are hinted in this manga that make you wonder, what is she exactly? Her family seems to be rich, and she seems to know a lot about history, almost to the point where when she talks, it sounds like she's talking from experience. But then at the same time, there's little hints that her adopted sister, we'll call her, make it sound like she's not even human sometimes. It's really interesting because they never quite tell you what she is or who she is. The interesting part about this manga is the relationship between husband and wife and how they grow in their love for each other. In the beginning, it's very nervous, trying to take baby steps. How can I hold my wife's hand? I've seen my wife being cute. How can I hug her? The husband saying I love you to the wife, and she getting embarrassed, even though normally she's cool and kind of mysterious. I love the relationship between these two, and I love how it grows in each episode. There's almost no no leveling off. Each chapter, it's just cuteness to the point where if this was sugar, you'd have to go to a dentist at the end of it. As I said previously, the anime adaptation has been announced, I believe, in the last month, and it's supposed to come out in October of 2020. As of right now, there's been no studio announced on who's doing this. If they can make this anime adaptation as good as the manga, it will be very wholesome and enjoyable to everybody. And in fact, if we can get this one out, I secretly hope that maybe, just maybe, we can get Komi-sa Can't Communicate in the works. Because when you want to talk the level of wholesome, this one pretty much matches. Folks, are you a fan of wholesome mangas and animes, or are you pretty much towards the darker, degenerate side of the manga anime world? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think about this manga. Have you read it? Have you heard of it? Does my little explanation make you want to go out and search for it? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, folks, I'm the Noob. Thank you for joining me, and I'll catch y'all next time. See ya!